Blades Abyss. Welcome to my Kuzuryu Grace Splitstaff build, Splitting River. This build focuses on maximizing animal charge, applying saturation and confusion, and laying down heavy, consistent damage. I will show you how to build it, present alternatives, acknowledge shortcomings, and it ends with a complete level clear. As you will see in the footage, the damage from this build is not eye-popping, but is very consistent with high sustainability, and you will be able to take down most enemies in Dream of Demon with ease. If you're running short on time, or some kind of Nioh 2 expert, I've included timestamps below. Alright, let's get to it. Sets and bonuses. This build is built around Kuzuryu Grace, so I went with the full 7-piece set, which offers decent bonuses in building anima and ki regeneration. However, the 6-piece bonus, attack bonus anima, is not actually an attack bonus. It is a damage bonus that scales off your base attack. For every 1 anima you have, you gain about a 0.7% increase in damage. At 20 anima, the bonus is about 14%. So in short, the Kuzuryu Grace set is not a top tier set, but it's not bottom either. It's probably a B. I went Splitstaff for this build primarily because I never used it and I wanted to. However, I started this build using Sonata's armor and I found myself quickly running out of ki. So I switched to the complementary set shown on the screen, Red Demon and Pit Viper, for their active skill ki reduction. If you stick to the Splitstaff in this build, I recommend those sets, but if you use a different weapon, you could probably do something like Kingo's or Legendary Strategist and lay down much more burst damage. Guardian Spirits and Soul Cores. For my primary Guardian Spirit, I went with Yonami Hime, if that's how you pronounce it, because this is a water-based build. She synergizes well with her anima bonus Saturated Enemy, Life Drain Water Attack, and the cumulative damage anima bonus. For my secondary, I chose Tengen Kujaku. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. It's hard to believe, only a month ago, pre-update, it was one of the best Guardian Spirits. Now he's simply being used as a lowly secondary. Which is great for this build, since Tengen has anima bonus elemental attack. The pairing of these two spirits is also good for the anima charge active skill bonus. For the soul cores, the ideal effects to have are anima and anima bonus and yokai ability damage all. For my first, I went with my main bag Kasha, but not for the upskirt shots, the movement speed bonus this time. No, I picked her for life drain yokai ability hit, and her yokai ability itself to apply Scorch, and maybe give myself a break sometimes. Kappa is my second, primarily for life drain water attack, and also his low attunement cost. Only 4 normally, but 3 for me. Takamura, of course, for the third, with his built-in anima and anima bonus. Since applying confusion in this build is really easy, he synergizes well by helping apply the confusion and giving a bonus for it. Also, with my anima regeneration, I can spam him, and he does a fair amount of damage. Equipment. As mentioned before, the weapon I chose for this build is the Splitstaff. Getting the perfect weapon for this build, however, is a little tricky. For the perfect weapon, you need to roll a weapon with corruption on it, so you can soul match with soul cores, then temper corruption off. A weapon with corruption built in will not suffice, as I learned, since when it awakens, it removes your elemental talisman effect and corruption damage does not count as elemental damage. Ideally, you would want to temper on anima and an anima bonus effect. For this, you need soul cores with white and orange inheritable versions of those effects. Anima bonus elemental attack would be ideal for this build. The Splitstaff shown on the screen is the wrong one, since its melee ki damage is less than half the value you can roll on others. I recommend the 7-scalp Splitstaff if you plan to mimic this build. Ranged weapons do not matter, and just ensure they have damage bonus agility and Kuzuryu Grace and you're good to go. For the armor, you want 3 pieces Kuzuryu Grace, 1 piece Pit Viper, and 1 piece Red Demon. Do it exactly like this setup if you only want to invest 43 into stamina. Try to stack elemental weapon damage where you can. The equipment here with star effects I did not forge, I found them playing through Dream of the Demon. So, pro tip, save all star effects gear you find when you begin Dream of the Demon. I didn't do that until like halfway. I would have had so much better equipment. For the helm, I ended up with an Enra mask. I tried rolling anima on others, like the Tengu mask and the female demon mask, both of which are probably better, but I gave up. An Enra is fine though, gives 0.8 anima and life drain fire attack. which is good for my Beikasha. Ferryman's armor is good as the pieces give you more life drain, water, attack. The Yoriki waistguard was not ideal. The veteran's waistguard is, but I couldn't find the right balance of toughness and agility with it, so I settled for Yoriki. For my accessories, I went with the Japanese scissors and Yasakani Magatama. For both accessories, you would want Anima and Anima Charge, no matter what you decide to go with. Japanese scissors give 0.9 Anima, which is 0.2 better than you can roll on other equipment, so it's more ideal. My Yasakani is close to ideal, but it would be better with some form of increase in damage. For other effect slots, put whatever you want. They don't need to be like mine at all. For your item bar, what I have on the screen is pretty self-explanatory, but I'll explain it anyway. Water Talisman, so you can get your weapon all lubed up with water. Barrier Talisman, so you have just the stamina and the key to fight and maintain fighting and keep the pressure on. Power Pill, why not? Got 6 Nujitsu, as you'll see, so why not put it all in Power Pills? Elixir, in case you need to heal, in rare occasion where you're not healing from attacking. Luckbringer Talisman, if you like the good drops. Of course, you can replace that with anything you want. Extraction Talisman to absorb Amrita so you can get the heals going. Arc Yokai Talisman is pretty crucial to this one. It helps you generate anima, therefore should keep it on all times. Steel Talisman, extra defense to hit hard as hell in Dream of the Demon. Now my favorite part of the item bar. Saisetsu Shinsaki. This one makes it so you get Amrita faster. It's like a Pleiades, but in the form of alcohol. Definitely use that. Dried New Peppo Meat to get that 50% increase in damage. Lumicite Shard to give you the little jolt you need when doing boss fights and scrolls, so you don't have to wait for your Amrita to build up to get your Amrita bonuses you have elsewhere. And Daijin Saki to prevent elemental status effects. And for the scroll, you can put whatever you want. I would prefer active skill key damage, increased attack when the enemy. Increased attack when an enemy gives you 20% increase in attack when the enemy is winded, every time you hit one. Active skill damage is, of course, good. Clans! For my clan, I went with Honda, primarily for the 4% active skill damage. It's a lazy choice, very popular one, too. But they're all alternatives if you want to focus on your anima charge and get that boosted faster. The first alternative is Hachizuka, with max Yokai ability key damage 5%, anima charge on active skill plus 6%, which is pretty sizable when you're doing moves all the time. The second alternative is Kuki, Yokai ability damage on saturated enemy 15%, anima bonus water attack, which stacks with all the others, which increase your anima and the damage of Yokai abilities. Third alternative is Date, efficient Yokai abilities all 15%. That's once you kill an enemy, you get 15% of what you spent back on that Yokai ability. Anima charge melee attack 5%. It's comparable to Hachizuka's active skill 6%, probably. Stats. For your stats, if you're following this build to a T and using the Splitstaff, you want to focus on courage and magic to 99. You want to remodel your weapon to fit those accordingly. The third thing Splitstaff scales off of is strength, but if you boost that up to 99 with the same remodeling you did prior, you're only going to get like 9 extra attack. Doesn't really seem worth it. But if that strikes your fancy and you really want the 9 extra attack, then by all means, do it to make yourself feel better. The third important stat to focus on here is stamina. With the equipment I lined out earlier, 43 stamina is the minimum with everything at plus 20 to reach A, agility. And constitution is my dump stat. That's what I use to increase my health because there's nothing wrong with having a lot of health. For the rest of your points, just use them to meet the minimum requirements you would need to wear armor you find in the wild. And I forgot to mention this earlier, but you need 3 armor pieces tempered with toughness on them to reach the A toughness value at full familiarity. Skills. Alright, I want to touch on the skills a little bit here and give you an idea of how I engage. This build ended up focusing on confusion quite a bit, and it can apply it within the first few seconds of most fights. This is because Twin Phoenix is one of the best moves for applying status effects. I have Fire and Lightning Arcanas on Twin Phoenix in low and mid stance, but for the most part fight in high stance. For the Mystic Art, I ended up sticking with the Law of Largesse over the Law of Lethality because I felt there was more cumulative damage. You can look through the skill tree and custom active skill allotment during the next section. Alright, that just about does it for my Splitting River build guide. I hope this build gave you something for your time. Although I'd be remiss to leave you without mentioning some shortcomings to this build. For one, the Splitstaff is not the best choice here, as it basically requires you to use complementary sets for key management instead of boosting the damage Kuzuryu Grace needs to compete with the damage of other races. Although I feel the extra anima you have to spam yokai abilities partly offsets the difference in melee damage, I'm not so sure the abilities compensate enough. Secondly, I feel this could be more efficient as a key killer build, as it would allow you to constantly spam Gozuki for massive key damage. Replacing Kasha form could be a good idea. And lastly, builds that focus on elemental effects suffer when facing enemies immune to those elements. Well, I hope you enjoyed the guide. I think for my next build I'll return to my roots and go back to dual swords, but no ETA on that release date. The remainder of the video is a quick level clear. Enjoy!
Returning home, and the wheels will burn and the highway will wind. Hey ho mama, I'm steady rolling. I got 500 miles of twisting demon. I got a clock ticking in my head. I'm gonna run, 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 run back to my baby. Gonna love her like she ain't never been. Returning home, and the wheels will burn and the highway will wind. Hey ho mama, I'm steady rolling. Take it for a walk, Steve. I'm a traveler returning home, and the wheels will burn and the highway will wind. Hey ho mama, I'm steady rolling, and as I draw nearer, just 5 more miles to go, I lift my voice and I declare that I would drive 500 more. I am the captain of old Highway 5. I'm a traveler returning home, and the wheels will burn and the highway will wind. Hey ho mama, I'm steady rolling. I'm steady rolling, steady. Hey ho mama, I'm steady rolling. I'm steady rolling, steady. Hey ho mama, I'm steady rolling. I'm steady rolling, steady. Ho ho mama, I'm steady rolling. You got your red light, wanna flash it on for me. You got your red light, wanna flash it on for me. You lure me in and hold me me close. You keep me there until I decompose. Temptation, temptation, looking for me. Temptation, temptation, looking for me.
Well, I got two eyes that used to see. Now I can't see what it is that I believe. I'm being pulled into directions. You're zipping me up with your sweet inflection.
Temptation, temptation, looking for me. Temptation, temptation, looking for me.